Good evening, folks. I'm a creepy Kentuckian.
I'm Uncle Bill.
And we have yet another in one of our long line of horror movie reviews we're doing. Are you excited? If not, you better get excited.
I'm always excited. I can't sit still when we do.
I'm warm and moist, as always. This week, there's a movie that a lot of people don't really talk about too much.
A lot of people hate.
I don't even know if a lot of people hate because a lot of people don't even know what it is, most of them.
A lot of people hate.
This is a movie that's pretty hard to find now. It's out of print and it goes for a decent amount of money. This is kind of the predecessor, or as so they say, to the Blair Witch Project. This is the last broadcast, Uncle Bill, the last broadcast. This is a movie that was made by Locus Wheeler, I think is the guy's name, and well, it'd be nice to actually have the director's names on there.
What it
Lance Wheeler and Stefan Avalos.
It would really fucking suck to be them guys. Like, I hate to say that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well,
that would be horrible. It would be like being Pete Best or something, like from the Beatles, the guy that was the original drummer from the Beatles and got kicked out like right before they got hugely famous.
Yeah, he's definitely not the best around, is he?
No, and these guys, I feel bad. I really do feel bad.
The whole story of the last broadcast, though, is these guys had made this movie in 1996, 1997, and the story was these four guys were missing after a live internet broadcast where they were trying to find. They were in the Pine Barrens or whatever, New Jersey, trying to find the infamous Jersey Devil, and they did a radio show or internet video show or whatever the hell it was, where it was kind of like In Search Of or something like that. The guys went missing, and now, and this is shot kind of documentary style. Not 100% like the Blair Witch Project, but very, very similar. And a lot of people say, and these guys say too, that the guys from Blair Witch stole their fucking idea. And this movie didn't come out until a year after Blair Witch Project was, independent films, and you and I have been, we see how kind of independent films work. We had our documentary, which we filmed 4 or 5 years before it fucking came out. So we know how it kind of works. If that is the case, yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I mean, I would just quit if I was those guys. But here's the thing. This is no Blair Witch Project, okay? This is nowhere, it's an interesting watch. I think I liked it way better the first time I watched it, and then, the first time we reviewed it on the show years ago, whenever this DVD came out, probably in 2007, 2006.
Yeah.
So we reviewed it in 2006, and I was kind of defending it more than you, I remember, from what I can, it's been a while.
Well, the main problem I had with it, and I remember this clearly because I was just like, why in the fuck would you do this, was throughout the entire movie, it's always like it's real and it's filmed through a camcorder.
Yeah.
Until the very end, the last sequence, the last like 2 minutes, it's like a pullback regular fucking camera. It's like
it kind of transforms into a real movie.
And I was like, why? Like what? I'm sure they were trying to make some sort of big statement about something, but
they were trying to be creative about it. Be like, oh man, but it just didn't work. It was a stupid ending.
It was a horrible ending. Yeah.
So, and another thing, like, okay, but what I was getting at is the second viewing of this, I fucking hated it. I mean, very rarely does that happen, but like, it was just so goddamn, like, the guy that does the narration in it is so annoying. Like, I wanted to smack the fuck out of that guy. Like, he's one of the shittiest narrators I've ever heard. Anything. And he's the main guy, like, kind of like the host of the documentary itself, talking about the history of, the history of fact or fiction, blah, 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 blah.
Like In Search Of?
Yeah. But that being said, though, if you want to talk about some of the footage and the stuff that was being shown, I think that it was, it was a good idea. I think it was actually a great idea, but it was just poorly executed.
Yeah, the movie itself is fucking horrible, but the idea behind the movie, that's what everybody argues about. Like, did they actually have the idea that would become the Blair Witch Project before the Blair Witch Project? The thing is, let's assume for a second that a company picked this movie up and put as much money behind it as they did for the release of the Blair Witch Project. I still don't think it would have. I think it would have just fucking fizzled out.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's no Blair Witch Project. I mean, Blair Witch, they did it. They executed everything perfectly with that movie. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like that movie.
Why the fuck would you not like that?
I mean, there is, though. It's got a lot of backlash. And over the years, people just, they really shit on it. I don't know why. But, I mean, it's just, I guess it's the cool thing to hate. But the fact is, when that movie came out back in '99, everybody thought it was real. Mm-hmm. Everybody did. Like, and I'm not saying that's fucking internet retard. Because everybody that was on the internet then, of course, it didn't take long. But the common man, okay?
Right.
They all thought it was real. Okay? And that was the last time I can remember anybody doing that for a movie. It was the last time, and it probably never ever happen again now the way the world is.
Right. The only other time that I in the last 10 years that I ever remember like an ad campaign being part of the reason why a movie did as well as it did was Cloverfield, because they never showed the goddamn monster and they had everybody like wanting to see what that was. And with this movie, it was like everybody, that was the whole thing. The ad campaign going into the movie was like, you got to see this because it really happened, and this is the footage they found, and yada yada yada. That was probably the biggest part of that movie's success, the reason for its success. I just don't think that you couldn't have done that with this movie anyway, because the end, it's clearly not fucking real. But
yeah,
it's not a good movie.
It kind of
not a good fucking movie.
It unveils itself at the end, and I'm not one to say that with this same idea, if they could, I think that somebody could probably remake this and make a better movie. Honestly, I mean that. You want to talk about doing remakes? Why don't you remake movies that had good ideas but that was poorly executed?
That would be one of them.
And this would be, this would be one. And say what I mean. The thing is, this was made long before anybody knew what the hell Blair Witch was. I won't say it because it was true, and it sucks for these guys. It does. But the thing is, this was not good. Like this, even if this had come out in theaters, it wouldn't have, struck a chord with people because it's just shitty.
They should have put that on the fucking DVD. This would have it won't strike a chord because it's shitty. It's piece of shit.
It just is.
It is.
Like, I was excited because, this DVD typically goes for $25, $30.
You should sell it. You really should.
And I got it used for a lot less than that, and I was excited. I was like, holy shit, I want to see this again. And I watched it, and I was like, fuck. I don't remember it being this bad. But it is. I mean, it's not a good movie. Has good ideas, like I was saying. Piss poor execution. And this was released by Heretic Films, one of the fucking companies. Like, around that time period, there was a ton of companies that came out, and as quick as they come out, they fucking went bankrupt and went away. That was one of them. So that's probably why it's so hard to get.
You remember Sub Rosa and
Casa Negra,
Subversive. That was that company.
There's a lot of them.
Tartan.
Tartan, Asia Extreme. They don't release
don't exist anymore. None of those companies exist anymore.
Movies. But yeah, I mean that's probably why it's kind of hard to get now, because how big of a distribution could they get from Heretic Films? Think about it.
That's true.
So anyway, that is it. That's the last broadcast. If you want to try to fucking spend $35, $40 on it, go right ahead. But you might as well just wipe your ass for that money, because this
I tell you what we'll do. We'll fucking send that to you. We'll make a copy of the case and shit inside of it, and smash it together and send that to you, and it'll be the same thing.
Yeah, you can just open up and sniff of it every once in a while if you want a fresh sniff of shit.
My God.
So, until next time, Creepy Kentuckian.
I'm Uncle Bill.
And you've been watching a review brought to you by the Ballers and Shot Callers of Horror Talk Radio. DEADPIT.com, bitch. Fuck you.